couple things have changed, right? Actually, quite a few things have changed. Okay? Who knows the divorce rate in America today?
Massive.
It's roughly 50%.
Much higher,
Okay.
much higher than it was back then. I don't think really there was any.
All right, now, you know,
40s.
we're talking about the middle class because this is important, okay? Not only is it historical, but it's also happening today, and it's culture as well, okay? The divorce rate of the baby boomers and of their parents during this time period, extremely, extremely low, okay? The family nucleus, which you can see right here, the nuclear family ideal in post-war decades. It's not uncommon today for families, you know, to be broken up, for people to move away, and things of this nature. And that can be difficult, you know. I'm sure that some of you are living that. It does make life more difficult, right? The likelihood of a single parent household to make enough money to support everyone the way they would like tends to drop, right? Because, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. In my life, if I had to support my 3 kids right now, my wife makes more money than I do. So what would happen to our standard of living? It would drop significantly, right? I wouldn't be able to live in the house I live in. I wouldn't be able to take my kids to Disney World this summer, you know? Like, all that would definitely not happen. All right, what you got, Kayla? Yeah. Has the goal of the middle class changed much in the last 50 or 60 years? Do people want the same stuff?
No. Sort of, actually.
They want the same types of stuff. I mean, the stuff has changed, right? Like, oh, you may want computers and things of that nature.
Well, then there wasn't.
All right, so here's the actual kitchen debate. Look on page 821. We're going to go outside in a few minutes. The kitchen debate, you can actually see a picture of it. Of course, Richard Nixon there, he's the man with the head full of hair. And Nikita Khrushchev is pointing his finger, and he's the bald-headed man. Very interesting. You can look at the caption of the photograph, but they actually had these model homes out.
Kind of like cookie cutter houses, right?
It's really interesting. Yeah, the houses, all that.
A lot of houses up in the rural areas are actually still cookie cutter houses.
Military industrial complex.
Oh, God.
A lot of people in America had jobs, okay, you see that on page 820, had jobs in the defense industry, creating
weapons,
bombs,
technology,
rockets, all that kind of stuff. The internet came about because of all this. And then the internet was harnessed so it could be used for civilian purposes. I remember the first time I ever got on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What did you Google?
I'll never forget the first time I ever heard a person mention the internet. I was in the car listening on the radio, and this guy said, something, whatever, say it was Ivy Academy. He said World Wide Web, www.ivyacademy.com. And I was thinking, like, what kind of language is this guy speaking? And then a few years later, I went to school, and in the 6th grade, we got on the internet for the first time. And the search engine we used back then was called Dogpile. That was the big one. Like, I'm talking about, this was probably 97.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you had the dial-up connection. You guys ever use a dial-up connection on the internet? It's a thing of the past. It would make all these alien-type sounds, and it would take you about 3 minutes to get on the internet for the computer to actually connect. It was weird, and the internet was so slow. You would literally, like if you typed in ivyacademy.com, no joke, I'm not kidding, you would wait a minute, and you would watch it load up on the screen.
It'd be like
it's kind of like what it is now.
Yeah. But it was like a minute just to get on one website. Now today everything's immediate, right?
Depending on your
And then
internet.
DSL came out. I remember DSL came out when I was y'all's age in high school, and it would speed things up a little bit.
Doesn't it stand for direct service line or something like
But
that?
most of your research, guys, even up until just in 2004, when I graduated high school, you went to the library and you would actually have to look up like books to go find in the library to get research from. It was pretty crazy. The first disturbing thing I ever looked up on the internet, you know what it was? It was a man named Dr. Kevorkian. You guys ever heard of Dr. Kevorkian? He got in a lot of trouble. He was an American physician who got in trouble for assisted suicide. He had this van, and it was like a mobile kill unit. He would like kill people in his van who had like chronic illnesses like cancer, and they would pay him and he would like kill them. Like give them, some cocktail injection, like lethal injections. And then he got caught doing it, and of course they like threw him in prison.
For the
They said
rest
he
of
was
his
killing
life.
people.
But like
Weird.
He ain't getting out, right?
Yeah. It was an appropriate question for a fifth grader, I guess, or my teacher thought it was. I remember researching it.
Sounds like that's
All right,
hilarious.
Sputnik.
Oh, that's big.
Sputnik was
Sputnik -1.
821. It was the
57.
first satellite to orbit the Earth. It was actually a Soviet satellite, 1957.
That began the space race.
Yep. Today there are a lot of satellites just orbiting the Earth that completely do nothing. They're just out there
Yep.
flying around.
Junk.
yeah, 'cause you can't get them down.
Yeah, they're just
You,
out there.
well,
There's
you,
so
you
much
can get them
garbage.
down
Yeah, like so
if
much
you
garbage,
shoot
satellite
them
races,
down,
push it
which is
out.
pretty expensive and pretty hard.
Put a new one. Yeah, that's
So weird.
Or, of course, you use something and hit it out.
All right. Okay, look on page 822. You can see the military.